Photographers are so tired of having their images stolen on Instagram. And if you've been a professional photographer for any extended period of time, I'm going to guess you've dealt with this one way or another. So in order to help, I'm gonna walk you through my process and how I handle copyright infringements on Instagram. And I'll let you know, I think I've come across one key element to have your images taken down from an infringer's account efficiently and as quickly as possible by Instagram. And in order to do that, I'm kind of gonna go out on a limb and submit a copyright infringement form right now and kind of walk you through the process, and we'll see, fingers crossed, how Instagram responds. Now, I know this happens to a ton of photographers, and realistically, I'd say a majority of the time when an infringing Instagram account steals a photo, they're not actually stealing the photo from our Instagram accounts. I would venture to guess a majority of the time, they're taking those photos from our clients' Instagram accounts. And if you've done a decent job at educating your clients, clearly you, but hopefully your clients know too that these other accounts that are just ripping the images from your client's account, that's not gonna fly with you. Now, to be realistic, tracking copyright infringements on Instagram is darn near impossible. A reverse Google image search or services like Pixie, for some reason, they're just not able to search the photo database that Instagram has. But kind of an easy way to check is to go onto your client's Instagram accounts and then tap on the images that they're tagged in. You may be surprised at how many accounts are reposting your client's images, which are realistically your images, without tagging you, the photographer, but they'll kindly tag the original Instagram account that they ripped the images from. Now, if you ever come across a person or business whose argument is,
hey, as long as a photo is online or on social media, it's pretty much up for grabs, anybody can use it.
The basic fact that Instagram provides a copyright infringement takedown form clearly proves that's not true. Now, since we are kind of dipping our toes into the subject of copyright, I think I still need to let you know that clearly I'm not an attorney. Anything that I'm telling you is not legal advice. I'm just sharing with you my process and how I handle copyright infringements concerning Instagram. And step one in this process has actually nothing to do with Instagram. It's something that I do, and I would highly recommend you do as well on your website or online portfolio. So this is the homepage of my architectural photography website. If you notice at the top, aside from the homepage, I really only have 6 other tabs or links that someone can click on. But I have another page on my website labeled Gallery that you really can't get to unless you type that specific URL into the browser. Again, you don't see anything here labeled Gallery, but the page does exist. So instead of matthewaphoto.com/blog, if you go to matthewaphoto.com/gallery, this is just a set of random photos that I've placed on my website that I've discovered being used by other accounts on Instagram that don't have my permission. And here in a bit, you'll understand why. So let's go to the actual Instagram form. I'm going to provide a link to it. It should be the first link you see in the description of this video. And when you click on that link, this should be the page that you come across. I would guess that if you are a freelance photographer / business owner like myself, when it says describe your relationship to the rights owner, most would say I am the rights owner. Clearly, it's going to ask for some basics like your full name, my mailing address, your email address, and name of the rights owner, which in this case, yeah, it should be you. So next up, it's going to ask you, where is the rights owner based? And based on the stats of subscribers and viewers of the channel, I'm gonna guess that you're probably gonna put the same thing that I'm gonna put in here, United States of America. Next question is, which of these best describes the copyrighted work? It's a photo, so I'm gonna select photo. Now it says, please provide links, or please provide the URL to the copyrighted work, or describe it in the box below. This is where step one becomes key. So yes, in most scenarios, when people are infringing on someone's copyright and using images on their account that they're not supposed to, a majority of the time, they've taken those images from other Instagram accounts. And you might look at this question and go, well, shouldn't I just provide the link to the original Instagram post? And you can, but in my experience, I think it muddies the water a little bit in the eyes of Instagram, and here's what I mean. See, when you refer to your client's original Instagram post, you're now bringing a third party, which is your client in this case, into the mix. And in the eyes of Instagram or the recipient of this form, that might confuse them a little bit. And in all reality, reference to your client's original post doesn't even need to be there. In this scenario, since I, and in your scenario is you, since we are the original copyright holders of that photo, the issue is really only between me and the infringing party who's now using it on their Instagram account. So when you provide a URL to your website, you are making it crystal clear in the eyes of Instagram that the photo in question is mine or it's yours, and that this other party took it without permission. So you may or may not know this, but every image that you have on your website or your online portfolio has a URL specific to that photo. In this situation, the image in question is this one here on the top left, this kind of nice backyard twilight shot of this amazing house I shot a few years ago. And when I do that, when this image is now front and center, whatever URL is in the web browser, I want to copy and paste that into this form. I would not recommend posting a link to the gallery, because if your gallery is going to show several or a ton of photos, you're now putting that on the recipient at Instagram of your form to sift through and find out which photo specifically you're talking about. So I will paste that there. And here in the form, the gears change a little bit. It's now gonna ask us questions about the account or the business or party that's using our photo without permission. Content you want to report. What type of content are you reporting? Clearly, in this case, it's a photo. Now it says, please provide links leading directly to the specific content you are reporting. 99.9% of the time, you're going to want to give them the direct URL of the infringer's post. And you might wonder, well, where in the world is that? And I'll show you. Clearly, I'm gonna have to blur some of this because I don't want you guys berating this account. When you're viewing the post like this, you'll see the 3 dots in the corner. Tap on that, and then it's going to give you an option that says copy link. That's the link you need to give them. And then paste that into this box. Next question it will ask you is describe why you are reporting this content. Plain and simple, you're gonna tell them this content copies my work. Now you can leave it at that, but I really think the cherry on top to really make it clear and simple for the folks at Instagram whenever they get this form is the information you're gonna put in the next box. It asks, please provide any additional information that can help us understand your report. If you are based in the US and you register your images with the US Copyright Office, I highly recommend referencing that in this box. Here's how I word it, and it's seemed to work pretty well. So if you want to copy it and just simply insert the information specific to your situation, you're more than welcome to. I'm not making any guarantees, but I just, from experience, I will tell you, with this wording, things seem to happen pretty efficiently. In response to their request for any additional information, I just simply say, I am the original photographer and copyright holder to the photo. I have never written a license or given permission for the Instagram account, and then drop the handle of the Instagram account to use the photo. And since this image is registered with the US Library of Congress, I reference that as well, and I say this image is registered on copyright certificate. Drop your certificate number with the Library of Congress labeled as, and then clearly place the name that the image file is labeled on their certificate. Next up, it's going to ask you to include any attachments. For redundancy, I always just attach a copy of the photo in question. So I hit send. For some reason, it's gonna ask me a security check. You should get this confirmation box that pops up, says thanks for contacting Instagram. You should receive a message response shortly. You tap OK, and then you wait. Now, I just submitted that today. Right now, it is 2:04 p.m. And yeah, we'll see how quickly Instagram responds to this. Okay, so to be completely transparent, the reason I showed the time at that previous part of the video was I thought that Instagram would reply back within hours. I've submitted the form before, and there were times where Instagram would reply back within 2, 3, or 4 hours. Clearly, that was not the case in this situation. So I recorded that first portion of the video on a Tuesday. It's now Thursday, and I woke up this morning with this email sent to me at 2:42 a.m. with the reply I was hoping for. Said, thanks for contacting us. We remove the content you reported for violating Instagram's terms of use. So that's it. it worked. And then on top of that, since I was already in this "stop stealing my photos" kind of mood, I submitted a different report for a completely different post and received a response from that one a little bit later this morning. I actually got that at 9:28 this morning. So I don't know how Instagram handles these, but I am glad that they did. I hope the video helps. If you got anything out of it, make sure to drop me one of these, and please feel free to share this video with other photographers on other forums, on other Facebook groups, wherever that could potentially help other professional photographers dealing with this issue. And if you have clients or notorious Instagram accounts that still think it's totally fine to just repost any photo as long as it's online, reference them back to this video where I address a lot of FAQs around image use and reposting of images on sites like Instagram and Facebook. If you watched all the way to the end, I appreciate you taking the time, and we'll see you on the next one.